All right, today we have a Mitsubishi Xpander. So this is a Asia-only car, uh, as far as I know. This basically, if everybody knows what the Mitsubishi Lancer is. The latest one that came out in the last generation Lancer, the 10th generation, which the Evo 10 is based off, has a normal 2-liter engine, then a lower variant with a 1.6 engine. This one has also the same 1.6 engine. Some of the later variants, I think, have the 1.5 engine. So you just think about it, it's a Lancer station wagon that is, again, made specifically for Southeast Asia because it's a 7-seater. So there's two seats in the front, and then you can sit another 5-6 people at the back, depending how fat they are. And it might look big, but it's not. So as with everything, most people think that the 1.6 is underpowered. That's why we are here, and what we're doing right now, we're going to be remapping the car, and exactly what's happening now with the laptop here. We are reading the ECU, so that's that little green bar over there. That little green bar over there. So once that gets to 100%, we've read the entire contents of the ECU. It's not actually big. On file size-wise, it's about 2.5 megabytes. An MP3 is actually bigger. And from that file, we can open it up in our editing software. There we can change some of the parameters, particularly throttle. Everybody complains about throttle lag. Ignition timing, fuel mapping, air-fuel ratio, all of that. So all of that will result into more power, more torque. The lag and the delay that everybody complains will be gone. And at the end of it all, you see about 8 to 10% better mileage, because the reason why is when you're driving normally, you don't have to step on the pedal as much. So before, when you step on the pedal this much, you get this much power. Now for the same amount of power, you actually step on the pedal that much. And instinctively, without anybody telling you, once you feel that power, oh, it's fast. Your right foot, let's go. So less pedal equals less consumption. That's where the fuel economy benefit come from, because I've heard a lot of comments that say that how in the world are you able to save more fuel when you're actually making more power? It doesn't make more sense. It takes more fuel to make more power. Yes, correct. It takes more fuel to make more power. Now, well, not really actually. For gasoline engines, particularly this one, if you take away fuel, you tend to make more power, because the stock air-fuel ratio of this car is around 12.5, sometimes 12. That's a little bit too rich for gasoline engines. The ideal ratio is actually 40.7:1, but that's ideal in the laboratory, not ideal for everyday conditions. So that means we have to remove a bit of fuel to get closer to the 14.7 ratio. So we're aiming for about 13.5. So that's why we're actually taking away fuel also. By taking away fuel, whatever fuel is left is burned more completely, and that's where you get the power. The other thing that we adjust is ignition timing. And that's when the spark plug fires in relationship to the cylinder. Before, the old school ways, you have a distributor where you twist. So this advance, this is retard. None of that exists anymore. It's all controlled by the computer. So we can tell the engine, okay, at 3,000 RPM, additional 15 degrees. At 4,000 RPM, additional 20 degrees, so on and so forth. We can add timing. We can also retard timing. But 99% of the time, you add timing. So you advance ignition timing by anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe 10 degrees. By doing so, you light the spark plug earlier. There's more time for the entire mixture to burn before the piston goes all the way up. So again, all of this is to maximize the fuel that's left. So you let the fuel burn more. The more complete the burn, the more power you'll make. That's in essence what tuning is all about, adjusting the air-fuel ratio and the timing. So how do we do that? So again, we're doing it this way. So we're reading it now. After we're reading it, we're opening up our editing software. The editing software actually looks like a big Excel sheet. We'll show it to you later and exactly how we do the editing. So, but after we do this, we will do a baseline dyno. We're going to be installing, well, these are the dyno pods over here. So we need to have a baseline horsepower reading for this car, because we need to know where we're starting to know where we're going. Well, baseline dyno is done, and just as expected, 90 horsepower. Yes, this is 90 wheel horsepower. I believe this one, when it was sold, I think on the brochure it was 125 or 130, I'm not sure. But if let's say it's 130, a 40 horsepower transmission drivetrain loss is pretty much normal. The same way that when you buy a Civic 1.8, it says 140 on the brochure, but on the dyno it's only about 100, 105. So this one is just right, just correct. So this is making the correct amount of power. That's 90 horses at 6,500 RPM, and your maximum torque is 125 Newton meters at 4,500 RPM, which is what every gasoline engine has. Maximum torque always happens at 4,000 to 4,500 RPM. Every single gasoline engine on earth works exactly the same. Don't care if it's a BM, Ferrari, Lexus. As long as it runs on dinosaur juice, your maximum torque happens at 4,000 to 4.5, and your maximum horsepower happens at redline, whether it be 6.5, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 for F1 cars. The maximum power is always made at redline. And truth be told is, most of you, as in, no, not most of you, all of you don't even floor it to redline. 99.99% of the time, this is where you spend your time at here. 2,000, well, idle. So idle up to about 3,000 RPM. This is pretty much all of your driving for the entire life of the car. None of you even go above that. So, but as you can see here, at 2,000 RPM, you're only making about 20 horses, and this already at full throttle. So this is the reason why people say stupid things underpowered. Well, because number one, you're not utilizing the entire power band of the engine. So again, this is where maximum power is made. You just stay here, only at this part. Torque also, so you can see here, you're only about, there's a slight dip also. So it's about 60, then goes down to 50, then goes up to 100 at 3.5 RPM. That's the reality of it. But after remapping, we should see this power graph. This entire thing should go up. We should shift upwards. So we want to gain, of course, we want to gain power, maximum power also. We'll look at that. But we also want to gain power where it's usable, which is here. And more particularly, we want a bit more torque here at the bottom end. All right, we're done with the remap, and just as what I said, we want a more torque, more horsepower way on the bottom end, which is, again, you spend 99% of your time here, and that's what we got. So let's do a bit refresher. This red line is stock, and this purple line is after remapping. So remember, this is already at full throttle, and this is about, what, 17 horses. So now it's double, it's 35 horse now for the same amount of pedals. So that means it's effectively 100% more power at 2,000 RPM. So that means you can do 50% less pedal and you'll still get more power. And all the way here up to 3.5 here. So it's a more straighter, a more linear graph here. Because the stock one is a sudden rise here. This is the delay that everybody feels. Same thing with the torque. Go dips down, then suddenly shoots up. Now we have our maximum torque here at 2,000 RPM. As opposed to before at 4,000 RPM. So it's now 130 Newton meters versus 110. Again, but you don't have to go all the way to 4,000. Just here, maximum torque is now here. Again, maximum horsepower is also here. We went from 88 to now it's an even 100 horses. So it's 12 horses here at peak. But if you want to get the average horsepower gain, you do it mathematically with the dyno chart. You Excel everything. So you take the difference here, 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 and then you average it out. So this tells me it's about 12, 15 horses more total on average for everything. Torque is also around 30, 40 Newton meters on average if you take this entire area here. So that's how you read the dyno chart. And we'll get the owner of the car, he'll drive, and then we'll ask him a few questions after he drives it. All right, we're gonna take it out for a test drive. This is Arvin, the owner, and then for the real test, we have two of our asshole friends here at the back. So it's like full of 5 people here. Let him drive it. Well,
Fuck.
okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, there is a difference between the speed, ano?
Yeah,
Because before there is a struggle.
delay, yes.
Yeah, and delay. Now it's fuck.
I think the term is sumisibat.
Yes, it's like an arrow shooting.
Ayun, karga. That's the people we have at the back are kind of fat too.
Yeah. Yeah, and also it becomes smooth.
Yes. Because we saw the graph a while ago, it jerks up, so now it's a lot smoother.
Yeah, because I remember when I go to the Bataan Mount Samat, no, this car has a very struggle movement when uphill climbing.
Yeah,
And now I think
no problem.
no problem, because you see, it's only little bit of acceleration, and then
It's fast already.
yeah, it's fast already.
Yeah. So, yep. That's
There is a very unique kick start on this, because before I know that
Actually, we're not even using like 10% of the car's power. Here's what you could do. Pag lumuwag konti, upakan mo as in todo. Then you'll really feel it. On this next corner, you can turn here. Wala atang lubak dito eh. Hindi, yan lang. Sige. Ayan, pwede man habulin yung Fortuner.
no, because actually the review of this car, this Xpander, is it's very it has a very slow start, and
Yan, sige, upak.
and now you can hear the engine.
Hindi pa upak yan.
Revamp.
Hindi pa upak yan.
Yeah, you see, you can
feel
feel
it, yeah.
you can feel the additional strength.
Yep, that's
The kick.
That's pretty much what remapping's all about. So, like I said, we're only up to about 3,000 RPM. Still have another 3.5 to go if you really want to floor it. You want to see what this car can do? Parante. Pagdating dyan, Prada, ako magdadrive. Okay, we're back!
Fuck!
It feels like... There. Not race car, but good enough, huh?
Fuck! No, I mean, I cannot explain how this revolution of the engine is doing like that, Fuck.